So now that we have a form that we can actually use to insert data, let's go ahead and work on the back end so that way we can insert some data. Let's go into routes. And here we're going to create another route, but this one here, if you noticed, this is a get route. We need a post route. If you go to the new.html, you're going to notice that we have a form here, right? That form has a method of post, okay? It has all the name attributes that we need, all the values in those name attributes, all right? So everything is ready. Let's go, and this file, you were supposed to download it in the description of the video, right? So make sure that you have that. And I have index number 2 because index number 1 was the simplified version, and then index number 2 is the other version where we have the Jinja code, all right? And the simplified version is index 1 or index by itself, all right? Anyway, let's go and to the back end and play around with this. So I'm gonna copy this guy, and this is going to be a post request, and it's going to say the same thing. It really doesn't matter because at the end, they're all gonna go into either a get request or a post request. So it doesn't matter what we have on the URL. So here we're gonna name this a little bit different. This one's gonna be called create contact. Okay. All right. So what we need to do here is pull out some of this data from the request. And we don't even have the request here, so let's get that out. Let's get redirect, let's get request out. Let's get flash out. Let's get URL for, not Flask, Flash. There we go. Just in case, right? We're gonna need all this stuff in here. So we're gonna work on this, and I'm gonna use request. Let me just write the line first, so that way you guys don't get confused for those of you that are brand new. We're gonna get this form object, and we have this method attached to it called get, all right? And we're gonna get the name. So that is the first thing that we're gonna get from the form. And we can say or empty, right? Now, usually if I do this, I'm gonna have to use this strip method at the end here, and I don't wanna do that. I don't wanna have to use 2 lines to do something like this. So I'm gonna wrap this in parentheses just like this. All right, and then I'm gonna put strip in here. Okay, and I'm gonna copy and paste the rest of this because I don't wanna have to write all that stuff. And this one is gonna get the email, and this one is gonna get the phone. So right there, okay? All right, so now let's do a little bit of validation here. So if not name or not email, then we're gonna return something. Let's just say we can flash message, but we're not gonna do that right now. I just wanna make sure that this actually is working. So let's just get a little bit of validation here. And email are required. Name and email are required. And then I'm going to pass a 400 status, okay? Now, let's go ahead and access the contact model, just like this. Let's pass name, email, and phone, just like that, okay? Alrighty. Once we have that, then we grab the DB session and we add the contact, just like we have before, just like this, C. Now let's do a try block here real quick, just in case we have some type of issue. So we can say DB session commit. So we're gonna try to commit here. All right, if we have any errors, then we'll see them. But let's go ahead and do an exception here. This is a general exception. And what we can do, if we have a problem, we cannot commit. What we need to do is clean the session with rollback. All right, that's just gonna make sure that we're ready for the next query and everything is good. Here, we're just gonna say email. Let me see something here real quick. The only thing that can be wrong here, let me just put this and make sure I spell it correctly here. The only thing that can go wrong here, because the name is fine, the email. might have a problem in the database. And that's one of the reasons why I want to use this try block here, because the email needs to be unique, okay? So that's probably why it could fail. We can handle this differently, and we will in the future, but right now this is fine, all right? And this here, we're gonna put a comma here and put the 400, all right? And let's go ahead and see if this actually works. And here what we're gonna do here, we're gonna redirect instead of returning this template. Redirect, and inside this redirect, we're gonna use the same thing we used with Jinja, URL4. And we're gonna redirect, and we're gonna reference the blueprint and the home function. All right. All right. Let's see if this actually works. It should work. If anything, we'll fix it. Let me just go ahead and do something here for the phone, just in case it's none, because I think we're sending none from we can send none from the form. Let's just say or none, all right, in here. And the email, one thing that I want to do after stripping it from any spaces in the beginning or the end, that's what the strip method is actually doing. For those of you that don't know, it's we're also gonna lowercase everything, all right? And yeah, seems about right here. All righty. Yeah, let's try to see if this actually works. And let's go in here. I'm gonna refresh. Everything is working, hasn't broken, and nothing is broken yet, right? And I'm going to add TPM. Let's just add I don't know, weird name. Rosita. That's so weird, right? Rosita. That's not weird at all. That's very common in Mexico, guys. Come on, orale. I'm not Mexican, by the way. Anyway, so let's. Nothing wrong with Mexicans, all right? I can be from anywhere in the world, as a matter of fact. It doesn't matter. I can be Mexican. I can be Indian. I can be American. Well, yeah, I can be anything. My English is not very good looking, though. Anyway, 4, 5, 6, 5. Let's just write something fake here, because I don't want you guys typing in, dialing some crazy numbers here. And there are some of you that are a little out there, all right? And let's just create, and we got Rosita here. She's available, all right? If you're there, Rosita, thank you so much for taking my course. If you know of Rosita, tell her to take my course and to give me a like. All right, as you can see, we were able to put some data in the database. Great job, guys. Very good if we were able to follow me through. If not, go ahead and check your code and do it over again, because this code is actually working. So make sure that your code actually works until you go, and then you go to the next lecture, okay? So I'm just gonna scroll up a little bit here so you can see it. Now you can see the whole thing right here, all right? All right, perfect, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We are done with this lecture, and I'll see you on the next one. Keep the energy up. Be consistent. Finish what you start, and just do it. And just like Nike says, right? Just do it, but we can say just code it. And that's a better one. See you then.